It is Saturday, March 5th in the NBA, and I'm back with my two best picks of the day. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Before we get into a recap from yesterday, I got a special guest today. It's Tyrese Baisley. Look at him. He's gonna be part of the video today, and he was our best bet of the day yesterday. Man, that was a casher. Under 23.5 PRAs. Man, put up 7 PRAs. Got a technical in the third. Got benched the rest of the game. That's why he's a COS Hall of Famer, and that is what we expect from those guys out there when we take your under. Either way, here's our one winner of the day. Donovan Mitchell gets clamped up by Herb Jones, the straight jacket, and the Jazz lose by like 100 points. The Nikola Jokic was 6, so we get our money back, a 1-1 in one day, losing 0.11 units, just losing a little bit of juice. Definitely saw a lot of people on Twitter with a bunch of winning tickets from a bunch of our lanes, so we appreciate you guys for sending those in. Love to see you guys winning some money. RJ Barrett, I know people took his over. Yeah, 6 for 26, man. Was building the brick house out there. But either way, if you are new to the community, we appreciate you for tuning in. If you want to click that subscribe button down below, go do it. We really appreciate it. We're closing in on 28,000 subscribers. It's Saturday, so let's get into the weekend, making some money. Now, yesterday on Twitter, we did our science experiment thing. I kind of mentioned it briefly yesterday in yesterday's video. It's really only on FanDuel, but we take a player's over and their under once we get some alt lines, and it was 2-0 yesterday, so maybe we'll do some more. You'll definitely have to follow us on Twitter for that, at Calling Our Shot. Follow us on all our social medias, though, at Instagram, Calling Our Shot, Facebook, on TikTok, you name it. Shout out again to our COS All-Stars. We appreciate all these people. They're the real MVPs. I say this time and time again, but we can't do it without you guys, and hopefully if maybe we helped you make some money. If you want to become an All-Star, we would really appreciate it. You get some cool extra perks like getting our plays an hour early in advance of the video in case some lines change and whatnot. So if you want to become an All-Star, click the first link in the pinned comment down below. Click the join button on the channel. Hopefully that works out for you guys. It's only $2.99 a month, and we would really appreciate it. And so here are our newest All-Stars. We have John Davis, John Mosier, Better Luck DFS, Rohan, Strike 84, the Draft Sports and History Podcast, Jose, hopefully I pronounced that right, and Colton. Again, you guys are the real MVPs. Thank you guys all for becoming All-Stars. Let's keep winning some money. Now, my last note, I believe today in Illinois is the first day that, or at least it's the first day in a hot minute where they're able to register for sportsbooks without having to go in person. So congrats to the people of Illinois. My favorite sportsbook sign-up bonus is this BetMGM one where I believe you bet on an NBA money line and all the team has to do is hit a three-pointer and you get $200 worth of free bets. A super cool one if you want to take advantage of it and you're in Illinois or in any other state, definitely go use it. Click the first link in the description down below. We have a ton of other sportsbook sign-up bonuses just using our on call and our shot. Well, it's technically dimers.com/COS. Definitely go check that out. It's also linked down below. It would really help support us over here at Call and Our Shot. Just use those links. Whether it's the BetMGM one or not, we would really appreciate it. Let's waste no more time. Hop into the best bet of the day. It's a guy that's not really on our program too often. Klay Thompson, over 2.5 3-pointers made, -129 on Barstool. I believe the value was like -130 and -130, I think on FanDuel and DraftKings, maybe -135 on Caesar. So pretty good line on all these books, and I like it. Now, this is probably, honestly, if I could think about it, probably a first time taking a Klay Thompson prop since he returned, and no bigger time to take it than in a big matchup. I believe this game is in LA against the Lakers. Now, Klay, he still isn't back to the Klay Thompson we've grown to know and love. The guy that was scoring 37 points in a quarter, scoring 60 points. He isn't back to that. His three-point percentage is down. He's only shooting 37.7%. That'd be a career year for Russell Westbrook. Sorry, Westbrook didn't deserve that, but still, he's still hitting a good amount of his shots, just not what we're grown to used to doing. And look, if you look at his points line, it's 17.5 today, which is awfully high, but it's awfully kind of I believe the sportsbooks are tipping their cap. They're saying, we think Klay Thompson's going to have a good game because he's only had 18 plus points, aka hitting his points line in only 6 of his 18 games played. And so if they think he can get pretty close to that, be willing to bet he's going to hit 3 3-pointers because one, in all those 6 games, he's hit 3 threes. And in the other ones, if he hasn't hit 3 threes, he still hit over 2.5 threes in 11 of 18 games he's played in. So pretty good indicator that they think he's going to have a good game today. And look, this is a guy that's been firing up the ball a ton. He has 7+ 3-point attempts in 15 of the 18 games he's played in. And we know a lot of the defensive matchup, and we know Stephen Curry will get the biggest defensive. He'll get a lot of defensive focus. And in February, we saw Klay hit this over in 6 of the 7 games he played in. So far in March, he's 0-1. It was against a very tough defensive team in the Mavericks where he went 2 for 8. But you got to love the field goal attempts and 3-point attempts from Klay Thompson. Now, one of the teams back in February that he hit his over against was today's team, the LA Lakers. And that was his best game of the season. He scored 33 points, hitting 5 of his 9 3-pointers. And look, I love what I've seen, 8+ threes attempts in 9 of his last 11 games. And sometimes he goes up to 9 and 10. We're asking one of the greatest shooters of all time to knock down 3 threes, primetime matchup on ABC in LA. Look, I'm all in. His dad also played for the Lakers. Michael Thompson was a 2-time champion with them. I probably will be in the stands if I were to guess, and I just think he will get it done for us. And it is also worth noting, over the last 30 games, the Lakers have allowed the second most three-pointers made to opposing shooting guards. Sign me up. We're riding with Clay on ABC. Moving on to my next play. We're taking this over 2.5 threes. My next play of the day, Mr. Jakob Poeltl over 29.5 PRAs, -105 on DraftKings. If I didn't pronounce that right, then he lied to me, because I watched a video of him pronouncing his own name. Now, as of this moment, a ton of sportsbooks don't really have a lot of Spurs props, as the Spurs are taking on the Hornets today, but I still think it will be 29.5. I believe that's what Pinnacle had, and normally the book is pretty close to what Pinnacle has. Now, it's a center, and it's versus the Hornets. That's been their money glitch all season long, and while we've taken the last couple centers off, it still has kind of held true. Now, the Hornets have allowed the most points and rebounds to opposing centers combined on the season. They've been a little bit better of late, but it's not like they're clamping up teams like other teams might be doing. Now, Mr. Jakob, he's been playing a ton of minutes, and I would have loved what I've seen out of him. Over the last 5 games, he's averaging 18.6 points per game, 10.8 rebounds per game, and 5 assists per game for over 34 PRAs per game. And honestly, you can take a look at his over 3.5 assist prop, which is like +130, value that he's been hitting pretty consistently. Now, over the last 5 games, the same kind of sample size, 27, 30, 47, 52, and 26 PRAs. So he has gotten over. He's gotten close to hitting the over, 26 plus in all 5 of them. We do need 30 today. He has hit the over officially in 3 of the 5, but he's been taking advantage of the great matchups. And like I said, this is a great matchup for him. But what I've even liked more over the last 5 games, 30 plus minutes, all 5 of them. Specifically in the last 4 games, 11 plus field goal attempts in all 4 of them, 14 plus field goal attempts in 3 of the 4 games, and number 3, or maybe 4 or 5, whatever, over the last 5 games, averaging 20.6 rebound chances per game, obviously the most on his team. I believe DeJounte Murray averages around like 13, 14. Now, look, if we look back at the first time these two teams played, Poeltl and the Spurs, they got boat raced. The Hornets could not miss, so you saw Poeltl's numbers pretty low. But back to centers versus the Hornets, it's just been, you zoom in and you just look, a lot of centers are just absolutely crushing this line all season long. Look, you take a guy like Steven Adams, very similar kind of style-wise to, or size-wise to Mr. Jakob Poeltl. He only played 16 minutes, but yet he had 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists, hitting this over for 30 PRAs in just 16 minutes. Like I said, you look at a guy like Nikola Vucevic, who can shoot threes, but didn't shoot a single 3 in his last matchup versus this Hornets team. He had 18, 16, and 8 for 42 PRAs. Ivica Zubac, a very similar kind of size and style for him. For a guy like Poeltl, he had 7 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. Didn't hit this over, only played 20 minutes, only attempted 2 field goal attempts. So Zubac certainly could have hit this over if he shot a little bit more, and I still think Mr. Poeltl will shoot more. And look, you look at Poeltl, he's going to get us some assists. And why? Because, well, I mean, come on, the matchup. He's taking on Mason Plumlee most likely, which I believe it's Mason Plumlee's birthday, so happy birthday. Hopefully you get cooked by Mr. Jakob. And then Montrezl Harrell, who honestly neither of those two guys have really any of an outside game. And if you look at it, Jakob is pretty good at deciding where to go with the ball. He's been averaging like 7.5 assist chances, averaging like 5 assists the past couple games. And when you look at the Hornets defense, if you've ever watched them play, what I've seen they do is they double, when you take a screen, which Poeltl's going to set a ton of screens for Murray, they like to double the ball carrier. So while you could take DeJounte Murray's props today, I don't think he's in due for the best matchup. You'll likely see Mr. Murray dumping it off to either the guards on the wings or dumping it off to Poeltl in the middle to kind of either one, attack the rim against the smaller guys and Miles Bridges or Kelly Oubre and whatnot, or two, or PJ Washington, or 2, he's going to kick it to the other guys and hit their 3-pointers. So I think he'll be able to score at will in the paint against these guys, and I think Poeltl's due for a big, big day. The over-under, 241.5 points, plenty of points, rebounds, and assists to go around. Both these two teams play at sort of the fastest pace in the league. I think he'll be able to get it done. Like I said, DeJounte Murray is still, he's a COS Hall of Famer, but I'm going to stay off of him today because of the matchup and the way that the Hornets play defense. It's not normally conducive to guards going off. Obviously, Murray is a COS Hall of Famer, so he would never hurt us. But I'm just going to stay off of him today because I don't love the matchup for him. I don't need to convince you more. It's a center versus this team. It's a money glitch. First, the Hornets, a money glitch all season. So we'll be taking Jakob Poeltl over 29.5 PRAs. Now, moving on to a couple other, the rest of the videos, we're going to talk about some leans because if you notice, as of 6:43 a.m., we don't have a lot of lines for a lot of different books, and I'll definitely add you with my 3rd official play in the pinned comment section down below. You guys know I like to do 3 plays. Gives us a chance to go 2-1 or potentially 3-0. Yesterday, I would have added Darius Garland had I known Nikola Jokic was out. But either way, let's talk about the Grizzlies Magic game. This game, I really don't want to bet on this game, if I'm being honest. You could take John Morant. What is his line? 32.5 points. Look, this game has blowout written all over it, so to kind of avoid that one, my spread pick lean would be the Wizards plus 3.5. Now, well, no, Wizards plus 3.5 cashed yesterday. My spread pick today would be the Heat minus the 1 points, or even the Warriors minus the 6 points. I think both of those are pretty good bets, but I don't really trust Warriors. Haven't been great as of late. Lakers haven't been great as of late. So the Heat minus 1 feels pretty good to me. Look, I don't even though the Heat are down a lot of guys, they still find a way to win games. I think they'll be able to step up defensively versus the Sixers at home. Now, a couple player props, which likely will be the third official play. Guy that I'm really looking at, Tyrese Maxey, taking his over in points. Now, since Harden was traded to the Sixers, Maxey been playing out of his mind, and hopefully we're not too late to the party, because this guy scored 20 plus points in all 4 games with Harden active. Scored 33 points last night, been super efficient, and I think against a very good defensive team, he has the best matchup. You're gonna have Adebayo on Embiid, you're gonna likely have Jimmy Butler or Caleb Martin on a guy like James Harden, and I think you might see him Maxey, this is being guarded by Tyler Herro, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, or Duncan Robinson. Those guys can't all 4 of those guys can't hide on Matisse Thybulle, which is one of them will be, but you can't all hide them. So I think you'll see him. Plus the Heat have given up the fifth most points per game to opposing shooting guards all season long. Curious what line Maxey gets, because he's been so good. If it's like 17.5, we'll be all in, but I have a feeling it won't be that. So either way, another guy I've considered, Tyler Herro. I mean, Herro's been really good as of late, and Jimmy Butler should be active, I'd imagine. It's a big game. I think he'll be active, and he'll likely get the Matisse Thybulle kind of shout out or assignment. So I think Herro will be left to be guarded by Tyrese Maxey or James Harden, which both those guys are decent, not great defenders. So I think we'll be able to get it done against a fellow Kentucky alumni if Maxey is the one guarding him. But either way, my third play likely will come from the Heat-Sixers game. Personally want to avoid Mavericks-Kings, Timberwolves-Blazers, and Magic-Grizzlies. All those 3 games have blowout written all over it. Maybe I'll add an under in one of those games because of a blowout potential, but either way, going to kind of stay away from it. Maybe a Patrick Beverley under if he is active. But either way, my only 2 plays as of this moment, Klay Thompson over 2.5 threes, Jakob Poeltl over 29.5 PRAs. Update in the pinned comment down below. If you want to become a COS All-Star, we would certainly appreciate it, and we can't do it without you guys. So definitely go consider that. If you want to sign up for the Sportsbook sign-up bonuses, click those links in the description. Let's get after it. Let's have a great Saturday. Let's have a profitable one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.